is to sort of go through chronologically, since we're doing this photoceptual, but photoceptual is weird. 80 is weird. It's something definitively is zero. Here's how so what I want to do is go on the table. I'll be starting with those you might know for over 50 years. And of the group here, only 3 note dead without a beard.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Mary and I have been married for 54 years of yesterday. So yesterday was our anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And I have the beard because when I was a student in France, I traveled all around France with them from college, wrote articles how to see France on a Philip Solex, and Mary was a student and read those articles, got the Philip Solex, and did those kind of tours. And we met at the University of Wisconsin, and we met in the graduate students were meeting, and in 15 minutes we discovered this common knowledge of traveling in public France or something. And so we put together a slide talk. Before we finished the slides, we become engaged. That's sweet. And so since then, we have gone across the country with more recent generations. I'll come to that later. So I'll just have to follow through this order. I'm not very good at chronology. Bruce is wonderful. I'll show you that in a different kind of way. After all, time is an invention that keeps everything from happening all at once. And here it's all at once. But there's a temporal, some of us exhibit a patina of time. A patina of time. And others less. But in other words, what I want to do is just go through this list. Of course, starting with Mary and going through France and the different tours. But so all of this is turning, the word turning is important. So you hear tour, turning, various kinds of things that involve motion. So when I say what we connect, think of the motion. It's not a noun, not an adjective. Happy birthday, not an adjective. But it's a turning point. So anyway, Edna Bone is a person I've known we've been known for well over half a century. We knew each other as undergraduates in California. We started the Italian program, had 2 years of that. So there's a portrait in my study from my father showing me in 1958, I was 21 years old, the same years that Ed and I were reading a Divine Comedy in Italian with some professors in the class. So Ed knows me without and he's with Rosemary, our known Rosemary Corps, thanks to Ed in many years. And so our turning around has been involved with going to concerts, going to museums, mostly around a table and enjoying each other's company as a mentoring. Then Nancy is another person who has seen me without a beard. But when I first met Mary, there were 3 Nancys. And this is Nancy number 1. And I finally got to meet Nancy. We were engaged and met Nancy. So she remembers me without the beard. So over the years, all the different kind of turning we done together in America, mostly in France, with the family. And she's the godmother of Stephen and Anne. That's how that goes. About the turning with us is that early on, when I told us, Mary and I were in France, and Nancy was up there, and we celebrated the Bastille party, the Great Bastille party. So we were celebrating the Bastille party. At 800 years from Notre Dame, and they were dancing in front of the Hotel de Ville. So all the 2 couples who danced was Nancy and Jean-Pierre and Ted and Mary. Everybody was around and we were watching. So we have a history of and then Stephen and Anne, of course, the journey and endless turnings together over the years. So having collected Dad wanted to tour around France, looking at endless churches and so forth. So Stephen and Anne. And then we came to Venice, and then quickly became Sue Hines. So we came here, and again we met around the tables where we made food at the club as we first met at that time. And so we celebrated this eating food, and we have still celebrated all kinds of tours. And they taught her Laura is not here tonight, but Laura and our family have gone all the way to the Atlantic Ocean and Florida and all the way to the sea. We traveled around together and still see each other. So, and also when I first arrived, I became chairman and was able to bring to KU Kareem and Bob Anderson. And it was so exciting when I met Kareem. We were recruiting. First, I'm 90 day recruit chairman. Here we are in the hotel, and he comes Kareem. Wow. We got to bring the faces. Christopher can't be here tonight, but I saw Christopher when Bob and Kareem came to France. I saw him as 1 year old.
A little younger, yeah.
A little younger for a child. And then I actually said those are big footies. Now I'm going through the church in the decades, the 30s, and that's when I first met Stephen Devin and Johnny, and we met when the bachelor party and I go to the basement and so forth. And then just like we had Sophie and Emma, and we got all kinds of things together, swimming in pools and doing Girl Scouts and so forth. And of course, Emma was in the preschool, and Dawn was involved with helping Emma put on shoes and coats. And that's the first time I met Dawn, was in that concept. And then, about that a bit later, then I also met Peter. And Peter and I first met doing Tai Chi before sunrise at the dance performance at university. And so we've been turning ideas ever since. And then Chris Hakeem and Michelle and Ryan, I met thanks to Anne, and we were coming to our thanks to Anne, and we've done everything Ryan now is learning how to turn the phrase to be the event. Which is wonderful. Thank you. Turning things into events. It's wonderful to have you here. And then in 20 years, around the millennium, Judy and Frank Hollins. This is why I have notes. Yes. And that's a kaleidoscope. You can't keep chronology straight when you're involved in poetry. Anyway, so Judy and Frank Hollins have come down from Minnesota for our event. They are celebrating operas and travel together both in France and Italy. But I forgot. Hey.
I was in there. Okay, was in that era. Okay, no further than
So Kay and I met around the seminar table talking about Russell Proust. And in the course of that, which I've said many times was so important. So we're talking about Marcel Proust and prose, and rather than stream of consciousness, Kay was the one who said the pools of consciousness, which is wonderful. The problem right here is in the pool of consciousness. And so then I started to have it. And then Jeff and Mary, thanks to family company. And Mary, and about turning, I mean, everybody has a name, everybody has a profession, but if you really know Jeff and Mary, you have to see them in Renaissance costumes. And so in other words, everyone has different kinds of form. And then Elizabeth and Justin, we met thanks to learning English and French, into English and French in review of a marriage, and we were able to be a straight marriage. And so the turning continues in that sense. And George and Mary, our most recent friends.
Right here.
We're substitutes today.
Thanks to
strength training.
So in other words, the connections we have with the Heinz relate and strength and so forth. Anyway, all that is right. I'm going to give you a universal good hug. Part of us, and I'd like to have it in our garden. We're not doing a cruise somewhere. We're not doing somewhere. We're just not ready because all of you are on board for the same few hours. So anyway, this is starting with Dietrich Schwartz, and I'll say bon appetit.
You know, maybe from the invitation, Of course, Ted is 80 this week, and in July, Anne will be 50. So the cake, so this is also a celebration for her. The cake says, "Happy birthday, Ted and Anne." So let's sing to them both. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ted and Anne. Happy birthday to you. Okay, and I'll just add more on the. Oh, it's a lightning bug! Oh my God, it's a lightning bug! You don't see those in California every day. That's awesome. It's summer. So on Dad's 80th birthday, I was thinking yesterday actually, that we were talking about the motto for Kansas and Ad Astra Canis Fair, right? And I always thought growing up it meant to the stars through with hope, which I think sounds a lot more promising, but it's to the stars through difficulty, right? And we were talking about the motto of Kansas, and we were saying that, you know, what it meant, and I thought, you know, yesterday, 2 days ago and today, life is about not difficulties, but adventure. And you've had an amazing adventure. You've had an amazing ride. You've had an incredible ride with people who love you deeply, both today and 2 days ago. You saw this. This is an incredible community, and this is a community of not just Lawrence, but you know, all around the world. I mean, Kay and Nancy and you know, all of us who have traveled so much to help make all of our adventures an incredible one. And Dad, we're celebrating your 80 years of making a wonderful difference in this world and in our lives, and we love you very much.
And to